Welcome back, y'all, to the football showdown. Is sacking Mauricio Pochettino really a good idea for Chelsea? I'm kind of confused right now. I've been thinking about this for the last couple hours. Um, I, Weirdly enough, I was shaving my face and I was just sitting here thinking, like. Oh, and while I was doing that, I was watching the City Chelsea highlights, and I'm like, man, it's crazy how much football can change in like a couple weeks. I think it was like 2, 3 weeks that game happened. At that point, it was seen as a turning point for Chelsea. They had just smashed up Spurs. They drew against Man City, who were seen as the best team in England. Before now, we know that they're really struggling this season, or at least for right now. But it's just astonishing how fast football changes. Pochettino was seen as, changing the culture, getting results out of nowhere, and now it's back to let's sack him, let's move on and find someone else. My only problem is the coaching market is very thin right now. Who are you going out and getting? Xabi Alonso? He's not going to Chelsea, especially when you have Real Madrid looking at you like they are. Why would he leave Bayer Leverkusen, who are doing good in the Europa League, could potentially win the Bundesliga? They're first right now. I'm not saying that they're going to win it. It's still Bayern as favorites. They won it 11 straight years. But do they have an unbelievable chance of doing it? Absolutely. So why are you going to Chelsea? You're not competing for anything in the Premier League. At best, you're hoping for 6th place or 7th. Because I think 1st through 5th is already locked up. One of those teams are like those spots are already taken by teams up and around that area. So you have the Carabao Cup. You're in the quarterfinals of that, but you have Newcastle. And then if you get through Newcastle, you got to probably play Liverpool. You're not favorites in that. You have the FA Cup, but all the big teams are still in it. It hasn't even started yet. So, I mean, it's hard to tell if they're going to be winners of that or not. So, I mean, the only thing that you truly have going for you is the Carabao Cup. But who truly cares about that? Especially when you're looking at managers like Xabi Alonso, who has a bright young future ahead of him. Zizou's definitely not going there. Why would he go there? He's enjoying life right now. I truly don't think he wants to coach. If he wants to coach, I think it would be once Ancelotti leaves and he goes back to Real Madrid, because then there's no other reason for him to be coaching. He's happy living life. I don't think he's truly set on being a coach anymore. I think he's accomplished what he wanted and did it at a significantly high rate, and that got him through the door and probably satisfied him, as it would most coaches, because that's an unbelievable track record. But next, De Zerbi? I mean, I don't know how much better De Zerbi is over Pochettino. Is his playing style better? Absolutely. Brighton play unbelievable football right now, but he's still so young in his coaching career. When you really think about it, yes, he's an older person, but his coaching career is still so fresh that I don't believe a move to Chelsea is good for him right now. He Brighton's the biggest club he's coached right now, and he's still having growing pains with Brighton. They're still struggling with the Europa League and Premier League balance, and for him to then try and do that at Chelsea while he's still trying to figure that out, then be pushed into the fire at Chelsea, I think that could derail a very bright coaching career that he's on right now. The path that he's on is very, very bright. So for him to throw that all away for a smash and grab chance at Chelsea, I don't see the benefit. There's no benefit in that. So this is why I'm really finding it hard to replace Pochettino. I know Chelsea's a big name, but they're not a big club right now. Like, you can see why people still go to Man United, because they're still in and around the European places. They've never truly dropped off massively like Chelsea have. They've never gone down to 12th and just not had any European football. They're usually in Europa League or Champions League. I think there was only 1 or 2 years since Fergie's left that they haven't had Champions League or haven't had European football. But they're always in and around those places. It's not like they finished 12th and potentially on track to finish in that area of the table again. So you can see why Man U is still a popular name and still one of the biggest clubs in the country, first or second best. I say second best, but whatever. But that's why you can see coaches, still wanting to go and being attracted to the Manchester United job. Whereas Chelsea, there's nothing going for you. You get money, yeah, sure, but your policy is 20, 24, 23 and under. What is this? This isn't a U23s team, but you might as well call it that because you're not able to go out and get the Victor Osimhen's because the board finds him too old, or the James Madisons, or the Nico Barellas. I know I'm kind of going all over with the reputation rates, but you get my point. You're not able to get the finished products at Chelsea, and those are what you need to win trophies and ultimately games. And with those kinds of players, you can't do that with just young players like that. So my problem is, can you truly get better than Pochettino? And I just don't think so. I think that you're going to struggle trying to find someone who's better than Mauricio Pochettino. And I'm not trying to say that he's doing a good job, because I don't believe he is right now. But, man, it's just tough for me to mentally find someone who is better than Pochettino, who would be willing to take this job. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Maybe I'm thinking too logistically about it. But I just don't see it. I wouldn't take this job if I were someone. If I were someone like a De Zerbi, especially someone like Xabi Alonso, who's seen as arguably the best young coach around. Julian Nagelsmann, I don't think he takes this Chelsea job. And actually, he didn't take this Chelsea job because he had arguments with the board. So it's like you threw out Thomas Tuchel, who was arguably who is the best manager to be there since he's been sacked. You went from him to Potter, and that's why I don't think De Zerbi should go, because you've already seen Potter go and ultimately destroy his career. He was on this bright coaching track, and now he got slammed down, and he's 2-3 steps back from where he was when that should have been a step forward. And I really just don't want to see that to De Zerbi, because I've been reading up a lot about him on YouTube and all these other things and his tactics, and I love watching Brighton and the mastermind that he's coming up with. He's generating a new style of football that will eventually be taken over by some of the other great managers and soon to come after him. That's how brilliant this guy is. So for him, I just personally don't want him to ruin his career like that by going to Chelsea. It might be a little bit of bias, but I just truly don't see how he could go there, especially after seeing the guy who he replaced at Brighton, or not replaced, but stepped in for at Brighton, see him go and ruin his career. Yeah, like I said, I don't think Poch is doing a good job, but I just don't see how you get better than Poch at this moment in time. I think you just have to ride it out and hope that you can do enough good recruitment in January to then see some improvements. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Once again, thank you for tuning into the Football Showdown. I will see you guys in the next one.